All right, you know what time it is. Neil Ratner, Rock Doc here with a story. Jack Bruce is considered to be one of the most important and influential bass players of all time. And since today would have been Jack's birthday, I thought I'd tell you a few things about Jack Bruce that you might not know. And as usual, a little background first. All right, so Jack began playing the upright bass in his teens and won a scholarship to study cello and musical composition at the Royal Scottish Academy of Music and Drama. Now, Bruce was also very into jazz, and he played in a jazz group on the side, and in 1962, he quit school to tour full-time with the band. Now, later that year, Bruce discovered the blues, and he became a member of the London-based blues band, Blues Incorporated, led by Alexis Korner. Now, the band also included organist Graham Bond, saxophonist Dick Hextall-Smith, and his future bandmate, drummer Ginger Baker. Now, in '63, the band broke up, and Jack and Ginger then became the rhythm section of Graham Bond's new band. Now, Bruce, at that point, switched to the electric bass guitar, which had more of the R&B sound the band was looking for. Although Jack never lost his jazz background, which always formed the basis of his style, no matter what group he played with. Okay, during their time together, it was legendary how Jack and Ginger fought. They did not get along at all, with Jack eventually quitting the band after Baker threatened him with a knife. Okay. But then Jack, who was a great bass player, got a job with John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. This was a real brief time he was with the band, but it was a very important time because their guitar player was Eric Clapton, his other future bandmate in the Cream. So now, Eric leaves Mayall and decides he's going to form a band. And who does he want to form a band with? He wants to form a band with Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce. And he calls Jack and he says, "Would you be in a band with me and Ginger?" Which, of course, Jack said, no way. But Eric was not to be put off. He really thought this could be a great combination. He was very persuasive. And both Jack and Ginger eventually decided to put aside their differences for the benefit of a new group, aptly named Cream, as the three thought of themselves as the cream of the crop. Now, Jack co-wrote many of the songs, including Sunshine of Your Love, White Room, I Feel Free, with poet-lyricist Pete Brown, who became a lifelong friend and collaborator. The band Cream spanned many genres of music, including blues, psychedelic, hard rock, and they're included in most lists of the 100 greatest artists of all time, which I totally agree with. Okay, now, in 1972, Jack formed the supergroup Wes, Bruce, and Lang, which included singer-guitarist Leslie West and drummer Corky Lang, both formerly of the Cream-influenced band Mountain. And the band got a $1 million three-record contract from Clive Davis, which was one of the largest at that time. A little side note, I was working with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. We did a gig at Ohio University with Wes, Bruce, and Lang. It was the only time I got to see Jack Bruce live, but it was a trip. Loved it, man. He was great. And with Leslie West, it was great. Not that it wasn't great with the others, but it was great. At any rate, by 1969, unfortunately, Bruce's drug habit, you know, it was the 70s and everybody was doing lots of drugs back then, had reached such a level that he lost most of his money. Okay. He didn't have a particular group he was playing with, but he contributed as a session musician to recordings by Cozy Powell, Gary Moore, John Anderson, and all that helped him raise money. By '80, his career was back on track. He had a new band, Jack Bruce and Friends, which consisted of a great drummer, Billy Cobham. Oh, thunder and lightning, man. I saw Billy Cobham with Mahavishnu. What a drummer. Guitarist Clem Clemson and keyboardist-guitarist David Sancious, who went on with Bruce Springsteen. Okay, now, after releasing an album, I've always wanted to do this. Excuse me. At the end of 1980, they undertook a long tour to support the record. Not a commercial success. The group disbanded. Jack continued collaborating with many different musicians, released solo albums, and then in 2005, the three members of the Cream reunited for concerts at Royal Albert Hall, Madison Square Garden. I'm sure anybody who's a fan of any of those musicians has seen YouTube videos of those concerts. Maybe some of you were there. With his Gibson EB3 electric bass, Bruce became one of the most famous bassists in rock, winning many musicians' polls, influencing the next generation of bassists, which included Sting and Tony Iommi, Geddy Lee, and Geezer Butler. Of course, Jack was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '93, awarded the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2006, and both of those came as a member of Cream. Rolling Stone magazine has ranked him number 8 on their list of the 10 greatest bass players of all time. The late, great Jack Bruce. If you're not familiar with Jack, you should be. If you're into rock and roll, listen to some Jack Bruce this weekend in honor of his birthday. All right, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll have more stories as the days go on. And as I always like to tell you, remember to keep on rocking. All right, see you somewhere soon. Bye for now.